Hello class 6, welcome back. Again I'm here with biology. Now you see in the last topic we have completed transpiration and I'm here with the next topic of this chapter, that is modification of leaves. Now what do you mean by the term modification? Modification means to modify something. That means to change something. Change, it can be change in the structure, it can be change in any other form. Now here we are talking about the change in leaves, okay, because the chapter is all about leaves, right? So here we are talking about the different modifications of leaves, means how the leaf changes its structure for various purposes. Now like you can see, if you remember, the leaves are modified in the forms of small spines. If you know the cactus, and you must be knowing though that fleshy part, green fleshy part, it looks like leaf. Okay, the structure, it looks like leaf, but it is actually not a leaf. Okay, that is stem. And where are the leaves of the cactus? The leaves are modified, or they have changed into small spines. Why have they changed into small spines? Can you guess? Can you tell me? No. I mean, I think some of you must have understood also why they have been modified into small spines. It is because, you know, the habitat of cactus is they grow in desert, right? And how is the climate over there? It's very arid. That means it's too much like hot and dry weather, and so there is a scarcity of water. Okay, so these cactus, what happens? How will they get the water to grow? So in order to prevent the loss of water from their body, these leaves have been changed or modified into spines, so that the water which comes out from the body during transpiration is less. So if the surface of the leaf will be small, then definitely the loss of water will also be small. Okay, so that is why the first modification what we are learning here is the modification of leaves into spine. Leaves turn or they change into spines in case of cactus or in case of desert plants. Why do they do so? Because to prevent the loss of water during transpiration. So okay, then the second modification of leaf is they change into tendril. Now if you have seen some plants like pea plant, and I think in grapevines also you must have seen the thin stem like structure, but when you pull it you can make it long, but when you just release it, it coils like a spring. Okay, so that is nothing, it is actually the modification of leaves. And why this modification in leaf is done? In order to give the support to the plant. Why do they need this kind of plants? Why do they need support? They need support because their stem is not that strong. Okay, because if they have to, these plants will bear fruits, and because of the fruits and other parts of the plant, they become heavy. So when they become heavy, they tend to fall down, they tend to move down. Okay, so in order to keep them in erect position, or in order to give them little strength to the plant, these leaves modifies into tendrils. Okay, now this example you will get to see in pea plant, in lentil. So what is the function of this tendril? It gives the support to the plant. Then we have another modification of leaves is the scaly leaves. Have you seen onion? Yes, I think all of you must have seen onion. When you peel off onion, what happens? What do you see? You keep on taking out the layer of onion one after the other. Okay, and this is nothing but this is the modification of leaf. And why this modification is there? In order to protect the bud inside the onion, so that the bud remains there, because the bud is again the vegetative part. With the help of that bud only onion grows, and in order to protect that bud, this scaly leaf structure is formed. Okay, and so these are the different modifications of leaves. The first modification is the leaves turns into spine in order to prevent the loss of water from the leaves from the plant. Then it turns into, or it changes, the leaves changes into tendrils to give the support to the plant. And the third modification of leaf is the scaly leaf structure, so that it can protect the bud inside the plant. Okay. Now next we move on to the vegetative propagation. Now what do you mean by vegetative propagation? Vegetative propagation means, you see, all the plants, they reproduce by two ways. One is sexual method and another is asexual method. Now in asexual method, where both the reproductive parts are not needed, that is male and female reproductive parts are not needed. In asexual reproduction, that means where these plants, they grow with the help of some parts of their own plants. Okay, like for example, some of the plants, they grow with the help of just the stem. You grow the stem and the plants will grow. Okay, a new plant will come out. Then another is like, if you just sow the, for example, if you just sow the leaves, and this is you must have heard about the leaf known as bryophyllum. Now what is bryophyllum? In bryophyllum is a kind of leaf which you can see in the book also. I will show you here. This is bryophyllum. You can see these are all leaves, and each leaf is responsible for growing another plant from the leaves. In this leaves you can see these are the notches. Okay, from the notches, if you just pluck the leaf and you sow it in the soil, what will happen? The leaves will again bear another plant of this, a new plant it will bear from the leaves. So this is vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation means the reproduction or the growth of plants with the help of different types of parts of the plants, like for example stem, then you have this leaves, then with the help of the fruits also. Okay, these are the, then roots are also there. With the help of roots also you can grow new plants. So this is what is vegetative propagation. And the last topic, we are here with insectivorous plants. Now you see, all the plants, they do not prepare their own food. All the plants are not green in color, and so if they are not green in color, then they will not be able to produce their own food. They will not be able to synthesize their own food. That means photosynthesis will not be there. Okay, and so what happened? These kind of plants. So we are talking about insectivorous plants. That means those plants which cannot prepare their own food. Not necessarily that all the plants are insectivorous plants, but there are certain plants which seek or which take their nutrition by feeding the insects. Like for example, Venus flytrap. You can see here in the book also, pitcher plant. In this, you can see, this is the mouth of the plant. Okay, and it traps the insects, and the insect gets inside it and they engulf the insect, and this is how they get the nutrition from the insects. Okay, now second one is bladderwort. This plant is basically found in the water. Okay, and these plants are also, they also eat or they feed on insects in order to get the nutrition. And the third example is Venus flytrap. You can see here very clearly it is shown. This is the leaf or the the leaf-like structure where an insect is being trapped. That's why its name is Venus flytrap. It traps the insects and engulfs it, and this is how it gets its food. Okay, so that means they are, what type of nutrition these kind of plants are having? They are not autotrophic nutrition, they are heterotrophic nutrition. That means they feed on other plants, or of course they are not feeding on plants, they are feeding on insects, okay, in order to get their nutrition. And so they are called insectivorous. Insectivorous means eating those plants which eat insect. They are called insectivorous plants. Like those plants, those animals which eats plants, okay, so they are called herbivorous. In the similar manner, in this case of plants, these plants, they eat insects, so that's why they are called insectivorous plants. So the example are bladderwort, pitcher plant and Venus flytrap. Okay, so what you will do, you will come, like, read this chapter nicely and try to understand. If any word, any term which has been not understood by you, you can send me, you can write in the comment box, and please do the previous question answers which I have sent. And also from here, what you will do, you will in this, yeah, you will just try to draw this cactus, like the modification of leaves. You will draw in your copy the diagram of modification of leaves. That means the, like this tendril, and this one is spines, modification of spines, and here this is vegetative propagation. Okay, so this you will, these two pictures or diagrams you will draw in your copy in order to show the vegetative propagation. Sorry, not vegetative propagation, in order to show the modification of leaves. Okay, and I will be framing few more questions from this chapter which you will complete, and this is how we will complete the full chapter. And in the next video I will be starting with the next chapter, that is the flower. Okay, so till then, please do read this chapter carefully and thoroughly. It's quite a lengthy chapter, and lot of new terms and terms are there, new things are there which we have not learned in the previous class, and you have coming across with all these terms. So I know like it is little difficult, a new subject, so do not get afraid, but take interest and study well. Thank you and bye bye.